We could be legend. I have nothing to lose. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. Wake up. I know what's real. Escape reality. Hardwired. We used to look up at the sky and wonder at our place in the stars. This is the world you've made yourself. Now you have to live in it. The end is in our sights. The future is already here. No matter how hard we tried, we are doomed. Say your goodbyes. Brace yourself. I can see the end inside. Three, two, one. Hardwired.
Takes a low roll, takes an eye roll, takes another eye roll. Oh my goodness me! Well, and he's just going to end it.
Hello everyone, it's Wild Ones Helper again, and we're going to be on a run of lots of streams, but don't worry, tonight it's going to be an exciting night, and I can't emphasize much that the teams we're going to be seeing will show us some extraordinary games, and this is the Blitz Premier Cup Season 4, the Stage 2 Last Chance Tournament. yesterday the results were really close, and especially Group 1. The teams don't know their final placings until the very last round, and I think you saw Serenity and APA got swapped at the end. No, Serenity originally for Serenity and APA actually finished 3rd and 4th respectively, and they have the same number of set wins as Immortals and Veil, but Immortals and Veil won more games head to head, so they are in the top 2. So it is kind of an unusual situation, and now we're here. On the other hand, Pink also defied the expectations as well. They lost to Quick 2-3 in an upset, and they were condemned to the last chance tournament as well in the 3rd place, and Raid knocking out Quick by beating them 3-2 in the end, even though they're tied with the number of sets wins. And here we are, 4 really strong teams fighting for only 2 places in Stage 3 final stage, and already we know Stage 3 final stage participants are Endgame, Immortals, Veil, and also Jokes. So that's actually talk about the last chance tournament format. So for those of you, you might be familiar with the term double elimination, but this one is a double elimination without the grand final. So what it means is that the team that wins twice will qualify, and a team that loses twice will get eliminated. So that's kind of simple, isn't it? And the final thing is that the winner of the upper bracket and upper bracket final and lower bracket final will qualify to Stage 3. So that's another thing to bear in mind. And what's going to happen? The draw between what's going to happen for Stage 3 upper bracket first round matchup will be determined using the teams we're going to be seeing the teams that will qualify to Stage 3. So it all depends on the teams that will qualify. So for example, if we are seeing 2 teams in Stage 2 qualifying from different groups in Stage 1, then it's very simple. Veil from Group 1 will face whoever qualifies from Group 2, and Jokes will face whoever qualifies from Group 1. But if Stage 2 qualifiers are from the same group as in Group 1, then things will get a little bit complicated, but still quite straightforward. Is that the second of that group, where you see the 2 qualifiers will face a 4th. So for example, Veil, if we have Serenity and APA through, then we have Veil versus APA and Serenity versus Jokes, because Jokes will in the other group will face 3rd of that Group 1. And on the other hand, we will if Raid and Pink qualify, then we will see Veil versus Pink and Raid versus Jokes. Right, so hopefully that is going to be clear enough, and you will see these maps: Port Bay, Alpenstadt, and Rockfield to start the night, and it's still best of 5. We will be playing best of 7 tomorrow, and tomorrow will be a really long stream, so bear with me on that. This is the qualification format. We already did Stage 1, and we're now doing Stage 2, the double elimination without the grand final. That decide 2 more teams over to Stage 3, where it will be a typical double elimination, but because you are not familiar with the double elimination format, with 6 teams, so basically there will be 2 teams which will get by, and these 2 teams are Endgame and Immortals that finish first in their groups respectively. So their first matches will start later in the night. So their matches will begin at 9 in Central European Summer Time. So they will have at most two games to play, 2 rounds to play. You will be aware that the fixture H, as noted on the stream, on the bracket, that fixture will take quite a long. Will start at a really late time at 10 Central European Summer Time, and that's just kind of to prevent the upper bracket final round to be played on the next day, where the teams will only play once, and we try to avoid this situation because that's what teams can play last time. So it will be played at a really late time, but the upside is that whoever is in the upper bracket final will have a break on Saturday, and they will feel quite refreshed for the lower bracket final, and the grand finals due to play on Sunday. And we are now halfway through, actually. Day 4, Stage 2 Last Chance Tournament, and Day 5 to 7, Friday to Sunday, will all be Stage 3 final stage. So that's quite a long run of streams to go, and yeah. But the teams have already had a lot of experience with compact schedule. I mean, last year and also somehow this year as well. It's really possible to have a couple of days to play in consecutive, or a couple of consecutive days to play. So this is not new to them, but I hope they won't be worn out at the end of the tournament. That being said, though, there are 4 teams that will take a break today, and that will be the teams that finish the top 2 in their groups respectively. So hopefully they will use tonight for training, or maybe they will just have a good break and just be well prepared for tomorrow, their minds and so on. And this is the bracket again, just a bit zoomed in. So we will begin with Pink versus Upper, and then we'll go to the lower bracket first round here. Okay, and after that, we will follow the lower bracket final in the end. And this is pretty much what the stream is about. And may I remind you the maps, the map pool is the same as the 2022 summer season. Wargaming just released the maps and also the details of the autumn season, and I haven't checked whether they removed Hellas and Ghost Factory, but it will be interesting to know if that's the case. But I have to double check. If someone can say it on the chat, that would be really nice. And the chat is really quiet so far, so hopefully we'll have some audience coming around soon. And this is the schedule. I probably can update as we go along. You know, we will be following Pink versus APA first, and then the lower bracket first round, having both of them, and finally the lower bracket final. And and my pleas are here again. Please donate to the prize pool of this tournament. We really highly appreciate your donations and effort, because we're still a good distance away from reaching the prize pool. So if you could really help us and sponsor this tournament, the prize pool of this tournament, that will be really helpful. And hope we reach a good amount at the end of the tournament. That being said, we will go to the lounge. Oh, for some reason I was unable to do that. My stream deck is not working well. There we go. This is the lounge, and also the bracket we're seeing. For some reason my mouse is not really working. The mouse font has appeared. Alright. Okay, so now my mouse pointer is back. And there we go. This is pretty much the bracket on Chart Launcher. You can follow that as the stream goes along. But I'm not sure if my stream deck is not working for some reason. I just have to check out to fix that for a moment, but for now I will. I will go to the room, into the room. Yeah, my stream deck is not working. Ah, hello, Adele. It's been a while. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to disconnect my stream deck and see if I can make it work again, which isn't the case. I'm just going to just open the stream deck app. This is really weird. My stream deck is not working for some reason. Let me just I have to reconnect then. Let me try again. Right, let me do something else then. Before, I'm not going to close the stream. I'm just going to, you know, restart Stream Deck and just pray this is going to work. This time. Huh. Still not working. Oh, I think it's working. Actually. Alright. Now that the teams are in the room, I'm just going to switch to the scene and let's see if it's... Yes, it's working perfectly well. And my game screen is showing. So yes, we got it fixed in the end. So don't worry, I got my stream deck fixed. That was just a little bit of a hiccup at the start of the stream, but we will continue. Right, okay, so Outsiders team, or Pink here, as we see on the red team, on the red team, isn't it? But it's the blue team, forgot. Really, Pink versus APA, or Outsiders versus APA. So APA, as we can see, as we don't want to see for now, I probably have shown it mistakenly on the stream, but we'll go in very soon. Okay, APA, they're going for a really current setup. I won't say it's unorthodox because we do see that kind of spam lately. So Pink would go for a wee bit mobile setup. Double light tags as we are seeing, but only if the room moderator starts or begins. We only have like 1 minute left to go. And there we go. Just straight on time. 20 CEST sharp. But we begin with Port Bay. And it is Port Bay that we're starting with. We're going with double 60TPs, double T100LT, and triple Type 71 for Outsiders team. On the other hand, sextuple Type 71s for APA and Amari in that so light tank. And we are seeing both teams go for different sides. So let's actually check Rico and Pepel. And they're going for the northeastern corner, typical area where lots of mediums and lights would go in random matches, but they're not going to be seeing anything. And APA going straight into both A and B. Will Outsiders team react to this information now? We are seeing Brain and also Artyom coming in to shut down Cebu, but I'm not sure if that's a good idea because they potentially might isolate themselves. But Outsiders team is now coming from behind as well, so APA needs to be really quick in shutting down Brain and his company. And at the moment, Cebu is going to be down to 2 shots. They have to be really quick though. Oh! Brain fluffs their shell, but Daze puts their shell in, and that was a good shot though. But can they hurry up? Which team will get the first tank down? It will be APA getting Brain first. Cebu will go down to the POS guy, but Artyom will be the next focus for APA. APA doing a good job here, and that was an Amarag actually onto Artyom. But on the other hand, Pink, they are now trying to shut down Uni here. He has to survive as long as he could, but he won't. It's still very close to core at the moment, but APA is doing better with the focus fire and shutting down tanks. They are quick in the respawns, and Flame is down to 1 shot. And APA seems to be letting up a little bit at the moment. Outsiders team, we know that they will punish whichever team makes some really inaccurate moves or bits being slow for the focus fire and so on, the efficiency. But APA surely won't let this one away because now they have a gun advantage and they have a solid cap advantage as well. Daze is down to a 1 shot, and Pepe on the T100LT, it's a nuisance actually. It's a 1 shot, but definitely will be using that armor, the mobility to cause problems, but he's taken out by Almari, and Rico down to 1 shot tracked as well. Ventium and Almari trying to circle that tank and shut it down, but it's not going to be the case. Outsiders team will have Scorpion, the last person standing, and Ventium is now down, and it's going to be a 2 versus 1. Almari bounces onto Scorpion, a good shot from Scorpion to Almari here. But Jennifer is trying his best to block Almari's shots, and oh, Scorpion actually got a bounce there. Both of them bounces, but it doesn't really matter at this point because APA, they will win by cap points. 1,000. Hello to Demander. Wow, 70. Thank you all. And there we go. APA versus Outsiders team. We have APA 3 tanks doing more than 3k. Outsiders team 3 tanks doing more than 2k. So it's kind of similar, kind of toe to toe. It was quite a close game, but I would say the main difference is APA reacted when Outsiders teams trying to flank from behind. And I don't think that it's the best idea for Pink to try to decap B like that with 2 tanks. They pretty much isolated themselves or spread the team to an extent where APA is able to quickly shut that area down, and that was some really good reaction, quick, decisive action from APA, and that is an absolute wonderful, absolute absolutely wonderful idea. I'm just getting my grammar wrong here. Wonderful idea there. That was the winning move in my opinion. And APA is now dropping that back chat, probably sensing the tempo of this game. They think that the back chat might not be of much use here. But we will see if they will actually go back to the light tank. Okay. As we see outside the team, probably some slight timing issues. I don't think they've made any major mistakes, to be honest with you. APA is really good focus fire. I don't think we'll have any questions about Outsiders team focus fire as well. Both teams are highly disciplined, and they're really showing us the top level Clan Wars gameplay. No questions about that here. And APA this time on a North Spawn blue team from the will be going to C this time, and Outsiders team going to A and B. So it's pretty much the same strategies for both sides, but not the same team. So if you see what I mean there, Rico and that Sheridan's going to be an important player here. He's going to spot up quite a couple of tanks here of AP trying to cross, and he does spot quite a lot of tanks here. Outside the team, they got the information they need, and they immediately drop into A because most of APA's team are now on C. They know that. That Sheridan relays that information. That is some important info right there. And C is going to be captured by APA, but a bit later. So APA has to be the team that makes the move. So we will be seeing a little bit of a stalemate affair here, unless AP is going straight in, and it seems that is what they're doing at the moment. We're going to follow Hate at this point and see if he is going to spot anything. By the way, he is actually Ernest from APA, if you remember that. Remember him previously in Clan Wars. So they've spotted quite a lot of tanks here. Great shots into Papel. The 215B going straight into this building here to shield himself. And outside this team is going to ready up for potentially a push coming from APA. APA stopped here because they know if they just go straight here, that means outside this team's completely ready for them. And APA might not want to go into that push for a moment here. They're trying to chip away the hit points of Outsiders team for a moment where they're down, and we're seeing Ernest going to push a bit forward, and actually they're going for a push. Flame is actually getting shut down here, and they are going for Uni here, and APA, they are sensing a great opportunity for Outsiders team while they retreat, and I'm not sure if that's the best idea for Outsiders team. As they retreat, they're losing a ton of hit points doing that. Look at this push move from APA onto RT and the first tank down, and they will be going for Flame next. And this is looking really solid for APA at the moment. Outsiders team has shut down Uni, and Flame is going to go down in a second, and APA is going to shut down Papel as well. Cebu is dead. It's now 5 versus 5. The numbers are quite close, but if you see the situation unfolding at this point, you would think that APA has the upper hand, and I would agree with you on that. But APA is bouncing quite a few shells on Brain, and if they keep bouncing shells, that will come back and haunt them hard, because the hit point's still very close. They have better positions at this point, but they really need to get their shots in. The efficiency is now a bit low here. And Outsiders team will make sure they will punish APA for that. And now Mary is going to go down, and it will be the case. It's now 4 versus 4. Outsiders team is trying their absolute hardest to make a comeback here, but Scorpion is going to go down to Ventium, and Yennefer will put a shell into Pod. Oh, it's a bounce. Outsiders team could make a comeback here if they're not careful enough. Their efficiency so far, the shot efficiency is to their advantage. And APA, they got 2 bases now, so the cap points could take in their favor. But Rico is going to be shut down by Ventium. That is an important kill there, because that will shut down the Outsiders team mobility, and that will make it really difficult for them now. Pulse is going to go down to Hate or Ernest, and that leaves Brain the last person standing. We had a little bit of scare there from AP and a couple of bounces, and Outsiders team almost got the opportunity to make a comeback here, an unlikely comeback here, but APA once again reading the situation perfectly. And Outsiders team, you have to ask a lot of questions why they made that retreat move and they completely fell into the hands of APA. They lost a ton of HP doing that. Had they not done that, had they stood their ground and potentially fortified their line, perhaps that would have been a totally different story, but we don't know. Obviously, APA now on the match point 2-0. Well done to APA, absolutely, and this is a really great match from APA. They are on form so far, they're on fire, but it's just the beginning. It all depends on the upper bracket and lower bracket finals. And we go back to the room and we will go to Alpenstadt this time. I think we played this map yesterday, and because of the lucky draw, this map is going to be played again. This time we'll be seeing APA. Are they changing their lineup a little bit? But APA, bar the middle period last match, their focus fire has been on point, their teamwork is really good. Their shot efficiency, hope that doesn't let them down in the hope that doesn't let them down in this one, because Outsiders surely can punish them hard if they do that. And Outsiders, they have yet to find a footing. That's the right grammar. Just stumbling on my words a lot tonight. I'm so sorry about that. But Outsiders team, they have yet to find a footing in this matchup so far. They were quite confused. I think the communication issue is apparent here. They weren't able to consolidate their lineups, their formation, and it looks a little bit disorganized from my point of view. They really need to sort that out in this one, because they definitely could do really well. They're really experienced players. I heard that they're from top 3. They consistently play in the top 4. I mean, on the CIS server, and I don't believe we have seen the best of them yet. But this could well change. A change of map could change everything, you know. So we will see if this is going to be the case in this match. And APA, they are riding high from their extraordinary victories. The first 2 extraordinary victories on Port Bay. Can they maintain that in this one? We'll find out now. APA blue team from the north spawn and Outsiders team red team from the south spawn. And who can I follow this time? Let's actually follow Petpel, the T100 LTs, going this area to the northwestern corner, trying to get a hold of A and trying to prevent APA from getting A. On the other hand, APA going straight into B, and this is an unusual strategy, I have to say. They're just barreling in. They're just going straight, actually, and they are rushing the mouse. Not sure if it's. I'm not sure if that's the right call, but I don't doubt them at the moment, because at the moment they have chipped away some hit points away from Outsiders, but Outsiders definitely are punishing for trying to rush the mouse here. That mouse potentially is the bait for APA, and it seems they're falling for the baits, and Outsiders are biting them hard. AP is going to get B with Sebu here, and will they get C as well? Light Tank is going in to C, Al Murray's going there, but they have lost a couple of hit points trying to get RTM out of the way. And they don't have the hit point pool lead, and that's going to be a problem. And let's look at Brain here, trying to engage these 2 tanks here. And APA is struggling a little bit with the focus fire because there are lots of targets to go for. But Outsiders, definitely, they know what tanks to go for. They're trying to shut down Uni here, and there are 2 tanks coming from this side. They're really trying to shut down B area. APA's tanks are now left exposed, and this is not good news for APA. I think Outsiders team, they have the positional advantage, and they really have to find the weakness of Outsiders team. Uni's now down, and they're trying to shut down Brain. I think Brain will need to pull back, and this is probably what he's doing right now. No, he's trying to wiggle his tongue, trying to force a bounce from Cebu, but that doesn't happen though. Mouse is now coming in to get Daze here, and also Gad is also trying to get Daze out of this match. Hippus are still in favor of Outsider's team, and APA is really struggling a little bit, but Outsider's team is actually falling apart a bit. They had a position advantage, but for some reason APA was able to put some shots in, and that is not looking too good. But they still have a good solid hit point pool lead, and these 3 tanks of Type 71s trapped in this pocket of area here. So let's see outside the team. Can they take out Cebu here? They need to take out that second tank out of the match. Oh, it's a bounce from Pepel, but they got Yennefer out. Outside his team's now pushing in, and I think that's a good call. Cebu is now out. Artyom is killed by Daze. Daze is going to be removed by the Outsiders team. Oh, that was a HE splash from Gad. But Pulse is going to put a good shot to Daze, and Brain. It's going to be a kill to from Brain onto Daze. And it's now going to be a 6 versus 3. APA struggles immensely in this one. And look at Ernest trying to block Rico. But I don't think that's going to be much use here. Great ram and great shot there. Peppo's now dead. Elmberry's trying to jump off this ledge. And Ventium is going to go down to Brain. And it's now 5 versus 2 with Ventium and Ernest down. Now Elmurray the last one descending. Who will kill Elmurray? It's going to be, with just a little bit of drum roll, Brain. Brain will kill off Elmurray. And that is a really good game from Outsiders team. That is more of the Outsiders team we would like to see. APA struggling a little bit here. They were trying to just go rush B, just straight rushing B. It doesn't work this way, unfortunately, because the mouse is pretty much the bait, and that mouse just lit up everyone, and then Outsiders team regrouped, and with that regrouping, they were able to be in good positions. And APA, there are 3 Type 71s trapped in that pocket, and Outsiders team just pincered them. And those Type 71s can't do much. They don't have any cover. They got shot from everywhere. And in the end, they couldn't do a lot. So, well done to Outsiders team. That is some good, well-composed game. They didn't threat to this one. And obviously, they've learned from their mistakes in the first 2 matches. It looked more like them this time. And APA, they are going for 7 Type 71s. They're really not having this. Except 2 more Type 71s, and if we count the number of Type 71s on the Outsiders team, we will have Dakubo Type 71s across the board. Outsiders team will also go for double VKs, and they will also have the FE215B and Rico in the Sheridan. So let's find out on the second match on Alpenstadt what these 2 teams would do. At APA, this is not the opportunity for them to go on tilt, but it's not the end of the world if they lose this matchup. Same goes for Pink or Outsiders team. They don't want to lose their cool totally. But this time Ernest says he will focus on driving, so I hope that's going to be the case. And let's follow no one, because Daze is going to be shot. Oh, this is a really interesting position. He is left alone in this northwestern corner. He has a lot of responsibility here, and especially he doesn't know that most of Outsiders team is near A. So when that information is shown to APA, Outsiders team going past A, good idea here. So they kind of let APA know, kind of send a wrong message to APA that most of their tanks might not be on A. But that's not the case, because Outsiders team is going to push A, and now APA gets the info. And poor Daze, how is he going to get out of this quagmire? He's trying to drive past this area, but he's going to get brain. That's some good juicy backside, but he's not going to last for long. because our team, great shot, there it is, on Days, and I think AP is going to make a push over to Scorpion. That's a good counter move here, but they've lost quite a couple of hit points already. And Days, being the sacrificial lamb, is that sacrifice going to be worth it though? Uni's now quite low, and outside it seems going to rush into Uni, and Rico is going to take out Uni here. The hit point's still quite close here. But outside this team, they have one more tank of advantage, and that's going to be important with Sable now isolated in this area here. Great shot into port, but can they go back to help Sable quickly enough? Ventium's now dead, so it's now going to be a 6 versus 4. And this is really going against APA here. And once again, APA got pincered. And outside the team, they have more tanks, and they can just share the numbers really well. But Rigo has to be really careful there. He's going to fight a 1 versus 2 matchup over there, and APA, can they actually find a breakthrough? I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. The hit points are actually still quite close, so APA is not out of this yet. Outside the teams, if they are not careful enough, APA could make a comeback here. Sebo and also Yennefer now down. It's now 2 versus 4. The hit points still in favor of Outsider's team, but only by 1,000 hit points. Oh dear, Outsider's team could actually fluff this. They're bouncing quite a couple of shots here. AP really trying their best, and that's an important kill here. Are we seeing an unlikely comeback here? God might be the focus. 4 more bounces going in. He's dropping the reactive armor, but I think this is going to be over again. Has the reactive armor, at the right moment here. El Murray now chasing down the Type 71 pulse, but that carcass here is going to block El Murray's line of fire, and he fluffs that shot. This is definitely Outsider's team's game, and that was a moment where there is a chance for APA to mount an unlikely comeback. Almera's down to 1 shot, and against 2 relatively healthy tanks, can't do much in this situation. And APA lost the last 2 matches, and we're now on the tiebreaker here. APA versus Outsider's team. Well done to Outsider's team. That is an amazing match here. They pretty much tricked APA into thinking that Days over that area would be fine, and they set up themselves in really good positions so that it is really difficult for APA to target down isolated tanks, and APA keeps on giving targets for Outsider's team to focus on. But Outsider's team almost fluffed this one when they bounced a couple of shots, and APA, there was a glimmer of hope. But in the end, when Gad dropped the reactive armor, it's pretty clear at this point that APA will lose this match. And we're now on to Rockfield here. It's now 2-2. Who is going to qualify into the upper bracket final, and who is going to qualify into the lower bracket first round? It all depends on this tiebreaker match here. Rockfield, I think the first time we are seeing in Blitz Premier Cup as well. So there we go, APA with, okay, the first time I think we're seeing tonight with a Kramwagen and an STB1 here as well. The STB1, as you know, great tank, great medium tank for how down. I believe the gun depression got buffed lately too. So that makes STB1 even more unique. We will see how the Outsider team is going to make use of that STB1. And there we go. Let's actually follow Pepel in the STB1. How is he going to make use of this tank at the start of this match? APA Blue Team from the south side will be going mostly to A, and Outsider's team sending everyone to A, and we could see a big brawl happening near that southwestern area. And we can see Pepel going this area to give some spots, and look at that shot here onto Yennefer. Yennefer in a bit of trouble. Now, outside seems going to make a push onto Yennefer. Yes, Yennefer the bait here. We'll find out now. Will APA be able to react to Outsider's team push? But they can't really push because now APA is totally ready. But Yennefer's in a tricky situation. But Bray got absolutely mullered. Oh, but Ports might block him going back. What is Ports doing there? He blocked Bray going back. Oh dear. He's going to have a word with Ports after this match. But they got Yennefer though. They got Yennefer down, so that's not the worst news possible for them. But AP really getting all those shots in. Al Murray and Uni coming from this slope here. This is going to trap Pink or the Outsider's team. And Outsider's team, how are they going to react to this situation? Because they are bleeding. They keep on bleeding. And I mean, looking at this formation here, Pink, they have a couple of tanks jutted at the front. I mean, Gad and also Artie are pretty much isolated, but AP pretty much in a horizontal straight line, and that's the exact formation that AP wants to go for, it horizontal straight line. And now Outsider's team has formed a horizontal straight line, but they've lost 2 tanks already. Is it going to be too costly for them? They lost Gad as well, and APA, they are sensing victory in the horizon. They're going to get Pulse out very soon. Ernest now down to 1 shot. APA, they can't lose their focus for now. There is still a chance for Outsider's team to make a comeback, but this chance is going to get lower and lower as the time progresses. Uni and Daze going for Scorpion. El Murray is now killed, but there are 2 really low hit point tags here. Ben team is going to go for these 2 tags, and Daze is going to land that shell onto Scorpion. And that leaves 2 tanks remaining for Outsider's team, 2 really low hit point targets here. Ventium, great shot onto Papo. And there we go, Rico is killed by Daze. That is a great match from APA. The focus fire is good. Their formation is a lot better than Outsider's team. I mentioned the horizontal straight line. It made it a lot more difficult for Outsider's team to focus fire. And APA can focus fire a lot more easily because there are 2 tanks that are apparently at the front compared to where most of the tanks are from behind. And we have to ask ask a lot of questions to Pulse. Why he blocks Brain from pulling back, and with this block, Brain does 0 damage, which is highly unfortunate. And Outsider's team barely losing to APA 2-3. Some really great wins on the way. They will go to the lower bracket first round, and we will find out which clan they will meet here. Well done to APA, and they are going through to the upper bracket final. Well done, and let's see. Okay, so Serenity 3-0 against Raid. So I have to start the tournament with the challenge, and there we go. Outsider's team will meet Raid in the lower bracket first round. Meanwhile, Pink, APA will meet Serenity in the upper bracket final, and New Beta or N90 will stream that. So we'll find out soon, and it seems everything is going smoothly here. That's really good to see. Right, so kind of a bit of a summary of what you saw. Some exciting matches so far, and I'm impressed by these 2 teams. They've shown some of the highest quality games that we saw in Blitz Premier Cup so far, and these 2 teams are really closely matched. and APA. They won their first 2 matches on Port Bay, and Outsiders team brought the fixture to a tiebreaker as they won on Port Bay twice. So what happened on APA with not on Port Bay, on Alpenstadt twice, and finally Rockfield, APA won 3-2. So what I think happened here is Port Bay APA just capitalize on a couple of mistakes from Outsiders team. The first match being that Outsiders team, they sent 2 tanks in isolation to try to reset Cebu, and I know they need to reset Cebu, but they don't have anyone trying to support them at the back, and they were trying to flank from the back as well. That meant that APA made a decisive call to push these 2 tanks, and they were able to get these tanks more quickly. And their move from the back didn't quite materialize. It was a bit too late for them because APA was able to get these 2 tanks quickly. And had APA not killed those 2 tanks quickly, I assume this match would get really close. So APA, credits for them doing a great job, and some really quick calls. These calls are really good calls, and they were quite efficient in killing those 2 tanks at the start. There was a little bit of a scare in the first match whereby they almost lost that with a couple of bounces and misses, but it doesn't really matter in the end. Their focus fire just prevailed, and also their initial move, their important initial move, just pretty much sealed the deal for them. Second match, in my opinion, APA, they were trying to rotate, and they don't have to hit the cap lead because Outsiders team, that Sheridan, relayed all the information for them, and they know that AP aren't on C. So they got A first, they got the cap lead, and what they did is that they're trying to defend their cap lead, but AP just keep on pushing through to Outsiders team's spawn. They didn't push like immediately, they kind of slowed down a little bit so that Outsiders team receives the pressure and make mistakes. And APA, when they see that Outsiders team tries to retreat, that is the mistake that AP is waiting for. They just push on that tiny mistake. And when Outsiders teams trying to retreat, they lost a ton of HP in doing so. It was also quite close in the end, but AP with pretty much a stronger tank advantage, numerical advantage throughout the entirety of the game, it is not going to be enough for Outsiders team to be able to come back. Even though, also again, APA had a bit of a scary moment with the bounces and so on, but that match, it wasn't that obvious. So Outsiders team, I just have to rewatch that entirely. Outsiders team lost the second match, and then I'm just going to change a little bit. I'm going to change the PowerPoint as well. Hi Tim, how are you doing? Alright, so what we are seeing in the upper in the next 2 matches on Alpenstadt APA, I believe that was the first match. They just rushed B, that the meme of rushing B. They did that actually, literally, but they found the mouse, and it was a situation of don't rush the mouse. It's the don't rush the mouse situation. The mouse is actually the bait here, and Outsiders team are very happy that APA falls under the trap, so they regrouped and they got into even better positions, and especially they pincered the Type 71s, 3 Type 71s near B, and they were unable to run away, and they got shot from literally everywhere, and that means APA didn't have a lot to do. They were only able to push on the other side. I hope for the best that Outsiders team Outsiders teams didn't do a good job, but in the end, Outsiders team pretty much dominated the match from start to finish. The second match on Alpenstad, that was Days, which went to the northwestern corner, and I really like how Outsiders team completely ignored A, so that they don't telegraph this information to APA, whereby they want APA to realize that most of Outsiders team tanks aren't on A, and that kind of sneaky little move worked. And when Days kind of spoiled up the rest of Outsiders team tanks, it was a little bit too late because Days just got absolutely cornered. And I really like how they make use of the numbers as well. They don't send like the entire team for Days. They only sent like 2 to 3 tanks, and that was enough to get Days out of the match. APA tried to push on the other side, but they only found 1 tank. And APA is also losing some hit points on some other tanks as well. So again, APA is under a numerical disadvantage throughout the entirety of the game, and there was a glimmer of hope where APA almost won it. There was some really good platoon teamwork, but it wasn't enough. Outsiders team almost threw that away as well with those bounces, but when Gad dropped that reactive armor with its FP215V, that sealed the deal for them. And in the end, they still have 3 tanks alive, if I remember correctly. And finally, we have the tiebreaker. Now that tiebreaker is interesting because Outsiders team, they were like, their adrenaline is running high. They were like, let's just push. They thought that Yennefer is going to be isolated there, but Yennefer has a lot of support from behind, and that didn't work at all. And Outsiders team, they were panicking. They didn't know what to do actually. And APA was in total control of this entire situation. Their formation, the kind of the formation they're showing, pretty much a good horizontal straight line. Whereas Outsiders team, there are 2 tanks protruding from that horizontal straight line from the back side, and that allowed APA to focus fire a little bit easier than Outsiders team. And Outsiders team, that tank, there was a little bit of miscommunication. One of the tanks got blocked from moving back, and that cost that tank. That meant that the tank got lost and got killed, and that tank did 0 damage. And it's going to be something that they will regret at a point, but it's not the most important match tonight yet, so they still have another chance. But let's hope that Outsiders team won't make that silly mistake again, because I assure you that tank could do some damage if that tank didn't get blocked while moving back. But it's not going to matter much now. They have to focus on the lower bracket first round, which will be Raid versus Outsiders team. And when it's training against Veil, we love to see that. And I'm now into the room. where I think we have pink on the red team and raid on the blue team, and that's what skills have here at the moment. I'm just going to see the chat. Skills, thank you for skills for managing the room tonight. I believe Eric's going to manage the last room, so thank you for the room moderators so far for doing a tremendous job in ensuring that the tournament runs smoothly. So really huge thanks to the room moderators for their hard work, and I can't thank them more enough. I hope if I have enough, if I'm a wargaming employee, I would definitely have rewarded them something. But there we go. We still have 5 minutes to go. So while we wait, let me just talk through about tonight. It's Blitz Premier Cup Season 4 Last Chance Tournament Stage 2. And this is the Last Chance Tournament format. Basically, it's double elimination without the grand final. And there are only 2 teams that could qualify to Stage 3. And right now we are on the lower bracket first round, so the loser of this matchup will be knocked out of this tournament, and it will be either Raid or the Outsiders team. It will be playing the best of 5 series. Tomorrow it will be a best of 7. Yep, this is the qualification format and the timetable. And once again, the brackets zoomed in, it's like that. The maps we're going to be playing will be Castilla, New Bay, and Oasis Palms. I'm just going to go past this slide because we know that the map pool, and this is the schedule as we are going to be following Raid versus Outsiders team with it's going to start in around 4 minutes from now. There will be a 3-minute delay on the stream as usual to prevent stream sniping. And that's the official recommended delay that from Wargaming. And again, I implore you to donate to the stream. We really need your help to reach the prize pool goal. And hopefully that's all for me. And I don't know what tanks they're taking in the moment. Raid will show up soon. And my nose is really itchy. Okay. So at the moment, we will find out which team will qualify. The fifth team to be in stage 3, and then finally we'll know which team will be the last one for the stage 3. And now we're going to see which team will go out first, and it's going to be either Outsiders team or Raid. And Raid, being the champion of Blitz Premier Cup Season 3, they are now desperately trying to stay in this competition. And will they be the first one knocked out tonight? I believe we don't have that kind of winner's curse in Blitz Premier Cup. Serenity, having won the first Blitz Premier Cup, I think they finished in the top 3 in the end. I couldn't remember, or top 4, I think top 4. Yeah, the 4th place in Season 2. Endgame didn't participate in Season 3, being the winners of Season 2. And they're now they are in Season 4, and they're currently in the top 6. So, Raid, if they lose this one, they will finish in the 8th place. And that will be the lowest position achieved by a winner of Blitz Premier Cup, and I hope they won't be taking this title away. Outsiders team, great for an interesting AMX M454. I believe this tank got buffed, and I think someone in the chat can tell me whether that's the case. Yeah, that will be really interesting to see. And both teams are ready. I'm just going to switch to the scene when we are into the battle. And we are now into the battle. Camsteer. Outsiders team going for double AMX. And that's TB1. Double type T100L team. Only one type 71 and a 1-to-1B. Interesting lineup we're seeing here. Raid, on the other hand, triple type 71s. A VK 90.01p, a 60TP, a double Sheridan. Interesting. Well, let's follow Messi here and that Sheridan. He's going to go up in this on this slope here successfully. But look at Rico. This we completely missed how he got up there. But this is an interesting area, and he knocked down that tree so that he can make use of that tree to hide. But does Raid know the tree being knocked down? It's a bit unobvious. That was an amazing shot from Messi to Pepel, and they noted that. They noted that there's something on the northwestern corner here, and Messi got a bounce from Rico. Now let's look at Rico again. He landed another shot onto Messi. No, it's a miss. However, Rico is in a good position. They're trying to put shots into Rico. It's not successful, however. Raid knows this. But Naru is trying to go into A. Is this a good call from Raid? Not sure, but Naru could be farmed, but that's another bounce here. Papel receives a big hit as well. Naru's trying to get A, but it's a bounce. Rico can't penetrate into that. Oh, that's really painful. Ray absolutely shut down Rico, and he could only hide. There was nothing he could do about that. And with C completely vacated, I'm a bit surprised they didn't go for that. They're actually rotating to try to rush A. Raid so far so good. They opened this match really well. And Domi's a bit of a careless mistake here. Pepel, great shot to Domi here. Naru, that frontal armor of 60 TP really worked in his favor, and he's going to make use of that throughout the entire match. And that's still really, that's still a lot of hit points Pepel's now out. That's still a lot of hit points for Raid at the moment here. Outsiders team, what can they do now? Great shot to Drizzle and Flame in this T100L team. We saw that being taken by Uthman Josh and BPS, and it worked wonders. But there's no one on A, I would say, and this is supposedly why Flame is up there in the first place. And I mean also not all of tanks on B. Raid completely knew the agenda, and they still have a lot of hit points to spare, but they have to be careful because Outsiders team's really making a good opportunity to make a comeback here. But another tank gone, which is going to be Pepel. Raid has two tanks that are still alive, two more tanks that are still alive. This is going hugely in favor of Raid at the moment here. C is only captured by Outsiders team, but I think that could be too late here. Now Messi is going to land that shot onto Flame, and Outsiders teams look very confused, or can I say bemused, Is that the right word for that? But I mean, the double Sheridan is really big shell into flame, and it's gone. It's another one bites the dust. However, Pulse goes down. No, it's actually Old School that goes down, and Raid, absolutely brutal. But the hit point still, the hit point gap is still close. Still the same as before. Brain's going to be the next tank down, and we only have 2 tanks remaining alive for Outsider's team. Wow, what a match for Raid. Amazing. Complete counter to Outsider's team's strategy here, I must say. That tank in this corner here, that light tank, supposedly being the sneaky position that will farm tanks near A for days. Raid is having none of that. Raid absolutely shut down that light tank, and that made that strategy obsolete. It's not the strategy that doesn't work at all. It's Raid making a perfect counter, I have to say. And look at Dolby, he's going to put that shell, or is it not? Is he having some prey issues? He's resisting to shoot anything. What is he doing here? Is Raid trying to wait for the win, or is Dolby trying to get a kill steal? I don't know what's happening there. Dolby just resisted to fight at all. Are they just going to let or are they just going to let Narrow to get all 7 kills? No! I don't know what's going on. Was Narrow on the potential 7 kill? We don't know what's happening there, but I suppose that's the case. But that was not the case. They were letting Old School to get that final kill, actually. That is why they stopped shooting for a moment here. That's a bit sus, however. But Raid, absolutely dominant first match here. Outsiders have no answer to that at all. They looked totally lost in this one, and hopefully that's just only this match they are looking lost. It's the same as the Port Bay matches. They looked very lost. And is it going to be the same for this one again? Campsteer and Outsider's team, will they have something else to offer? Raid, I know Raid is really strong on Campsteer map, so good to know that they are doing well here. But at the moment, Raid, that wasn't a fluke at all. That was actually an amazing win. And wow. I feel like my commentary tonight isn't really that hyper. I apologize for that, but hey, Quintuple, they're going for a more conventional setup here, knowing that the last match that they weren't. I'm very sure they won't be satisfied about that performance, but this is going to be the change they desperately need. Raid with double Sheridans, a gorilla. But that's not played by Messi though. Messi's not in the gorilla, so you can't see his legendary move in the gorilla. Well, we might see triple Type 71 and a VK 90.01p. Nope, he's playing in. Oh, we don't see double Type 71. It will be a 60 TP. And there we go. We are back on Campsteer. And what are we going to see in this match? We'll find out now, as Outsider's team going for a completely different area. They will go for C. And Raid, they're going to spread out a little bit, and I have to be really mindful of Old School here. He will have a lot of responsibility if Outsider's team decides to push C, which we saw from a couple of teams And I don't think that's what they're doing at the moment. Oh, Brain got spotted. Let's see what Narrow in that grill is doing. Huh, interesting move. We are seeing a couple of Outsiders team tanks being spotted up. Messi. Oh, huge opportunity. Big shot into Scorpion. Waited for that exact moment to reset B. And that's a good start again for Raid. And as we can see, Falcon. Oh, Pulse also losing some hit points here. Falcon is there to reset B here. And we could see potentially Outsiders coming to get Old School out of the match. And Raid, they have to respawn now. Because Old School is not going to last for long. Raid, good shots onto Brain from Old School. Old School is sensing some pressure here. Outsiders team's going to send 5 tanks here, but if I were Raid, I would push Scorpion right away. Are they doing that? Raid, Old School, he's definitely shouting for help. Raid, they need to make a move on the other side. If they don't do anything, well, they're trying to farm from this side, but that's a great opportunity potentially wasted. To be honest with you, the hit points are still quite close. They're now making a push onto Scorpion. Is that going to be too late though? Old School is struggling to survive. Now down to 1 shot though. Pulse will finish off Old School, I would say. It will be the case. And now Scorpion is being pushed by Ray. Is that a bit too late? Nissy needs to get Scorpion. Oh, that's a bounce. And that's kind of to be expected because that's a light tank. Facing the frontal armor, Pepper dropping the reactive armor. Nixie is now dead. Oh, Drizzle is now dead as well. It's now 6 versus 4. Narrow. And that gorilla. Can he make a shot? Nope. The Outsiders team tanks have now crossed. Raid! Too late. They were too late on pushing Scorpion, however. I mean, it's good that they have tanks to kind of overlook this area for crossfire, but that was an isolated tank right there. They can just send 2 tanks to deal with that and have those 2 other tanks to address this issue. But Messi being rammed by Peppo and being taken out by Riku here. Dolby's now taken out, leaving the Gorilla of Narrow, the last person standing. And this is certainly going into pink here. There we go. Oh, great kill from Narrow. That's a consolation prize here. Riku, big AC shell there. And Narrow will be taken up by Brain. Nope, Brain got a little bit of a low road there. Narrow will be taken up by Flame instead. Had Raid made a push there, could have been a totally different story. Outscrew, that is a sacrificial lamb, but Raid didn't respond properly to that, and I think that is really the difference between reacting quickly and reacting slowly. If you react quickly, then you're able to make use of the opportunity when Outsiders team is dealing with Outsiders with Old School with like 4 tanks there. That was like a good opportunity for Raid to shut that tank down. They let Scorpion live for too long, and again Raid had a good start, and they were pretty much came undone by that mistake, I would say. And Outsiders team, they didn't fluff at all. They didn't let their guard down. They keep on pushing. They keep on focusing. And in the end, they got rewarded by a win. And Raid, they would be. They wouldn't really need to pick back up in the next one though. And we're now on onto New Bay, which is a totally different map, as this one as this map features a lot of long and narrow corridors, and this is why you're seeing a lot of German heavies being taken here, and virtually no medium or lights, unless Pulse is taking the STB1, but he's taking up Type 71. So we're seeing all 14 heavies on both teams, and it's going to be fun to watch. And let's see the quadruple German heavies that Outsiders team is going to take in this one. That will give them quite a lot of hit points to spare. And we'll now go into New Bay. And there we go. Outsiders team from the south spawn and Raid blue team from the north spawn. Outsiders team got one back, so it's good for them. And I think this is going up evenly again. Let's see. Pep Hell and the 60 TP. Taking this area. Meanwhile, Raid going mostly to A. Now, Outsiders team's going at C first. Narrow is being spotted. Great shot is a Pep Hell here. But Outsiders team will get the cap lead first. And Nitzy is going quite aggressive now. They're going straight. And Outsiders team, that mouse of Gad, the bait, will Raid fall into the trap of the mouse bait. And we will see. They are not trying to push into the mouse though, they are waiting a little bit. Oh, Messi! Oh! Those 4 tanks there, they are waiting for Messi to show up and put some good shots. But Pepe entirely is not it's not in this either. Like, he has taken a lot of hit points as well, and Gad is in deep trouble. Outsider's team needs to make a move. They will try to get Messi out of the way, and Messi needs to pull back. Raid in trouble, and Outsider's team, they're really trying to crowd this area 4 vs 2. This is looking really good for them. Can they get the mouse of Gad quickly enough? I'm not sure, but Domi's actually putting shots from this area. This is going to be important. That's going to slow down Outsiders' forces, but they are sharing the hit points really well, so that could be a plus for them. The hit points are still neck and neck, but Outsiders' team now gets the advantage with the hit point pool sharing. Nissy is going to be the next tank down potentially. Gad is going to be down finally. And look how long it took for Ray to get the mouse down. And this is why you don't want to focus the mouse first. And Falcon will take out Pepco. Gad is now down. Finally, it's now 5 vs 4. Raid now under more than 2,000 hit points of disadvantage. This is not looking good. And they're going to lose Narrow very soon. Narrow bounced the shot as well. Rico is going to land that big shell onto Narrow, and Scorpion takes Narrow down. And we are seeing Falcon going in. It's now all about focus fire, but Outsiders team made did a really good job in the hit point push sharing, and Drizzle is now dead. Outsiders team focus fire is really on point his one in this match. Rico is now dead. Falcon is going to be really low, only down to 102 hit points here. Outsiders team is going to find Domi here. They don't have too much. Brain is going up, and Domi is going to be killed by Scorpion, and Brain will kill Falcon. And this game will certainly go to Outsiders team. Well done there. Outsiders team. That mouse, once again, is the bait. But Ray did position themselves alright. Not the worst. But what I think is the deciding factor here. As you can see, Outsiders team spread the hit points really well. 7 tanks doing more than 2k. Every single one of them has done a tremendous job. And this is why I always talk about the number of tanks doing more than 2k. 7 tanks. And this is a good indication that they've done the team. They have really good teamwork here. They've shared hit points really well, as you can see. Their hit points dwindle pretty much evenly across the board and Raid, and you can see Messi doing 0 damage. Raid positioned themselves not as good as Outsiders team here, but it's not the worst either. I mean, you have Nissy in that AMX. Really, is it Domi or Nissy? Very important to stop Outsiders, but I don't think that's enough though. Outsiders team definitely won't be faced by only that one tank trying to farm them from that area. And with Outsiders team being decisive here, made that push, timed it well, that mouse lived long enough so that Raid lost already 3 tanks in the time at the same time when Outsiders teams only lost 2 tanks. And this numerical advantage that Outsiders team has meant that they were able to win this one. So well done to Outsiders team. Now it's going to be 2-1 for Outsiders team and Raid. They're going to do something interesting here. They're going to take double Jagdpanzer E100. Let's see if it's going to work in favor of Raid. The problem is, it doesn't have the hit points. And they really have to make sure... Oh, no, they have the hit points. However, they have the hit points. That's because Outsider's team took a light tank. So it's actually not a terrible news for Raid. But I digress. We will follow Rico, that T1LT, in this area to spot Raid's tanks trying to go into A. Look at how many tanks so far. Well, not a lot though. Rico didn't spot the other flank, the other arm of this area here. But they are spotted now. Outsider's team, they know that there are a lot of tanks going for A. They're going to go into B with only one tank. Once again, I really like how Outsider's team is doing with the cap strategies. They're trying to telegraph the wrong information to Raid as much as possible. So it appears like Outsider's team, they may have a lot of tanks sitting behind. But this is, I think, what they're trying to do at the moment. But they all now got spotted. Look at those Japaners doing a tremendous job. Now Ged will be in deep trouble. Down to only 1,000 hit points. The strategy with the mouse might actually be thwarted. And what will Raid do now? They don't have a lot of hit point pool advantage. Oh! Ouch! Yap Panzer. I take back what I said about Yap Panzer. They're definitely doing a phenomenal job here. And now Riku's trying to chip away the hit points of the Yap Panzer here. Raid is not done yet. They still have a lot to do. And they're struggling a little bit actually. There is still time and still opportunity for Raid, for Outsider's team to make a comeback here. Once again, they're sharing the hit points well. This could only be a good thing, but Raid, Bessie, Rico from behind needs to play it really carefully now. Rico's turning, it's going to run away. The Yap Panzer is trying to chase the T1LC, but I like how the Yap Panzer is going to doing here. They're trying to catch Rico. Rico is going to be isolated, however. Are we going to be seeing a push from Outsider's team? Yes, we're going to be seeing a push from Outsider's team. They shift enough hit points away of Raid, and now they're going to push in. And Drizzle is now down to one shot. Scorpion will kill Drizzle here. It's now 7 versus 5. Again, the hit point pool sharing of Outsider's team is doing a great job. Great shot from Naura Messi. Oh, it's a bounce there. Old School killed himself. Dolmy is now taken out, and Nissi is now quite low. The focus for Outsider's team, and the first Yak Panzer is dead, and Messi is being killed before he's able to fire a shot. And unfortunately, that means Raid is out of the tournament. Well done, Outsider's team didn't panic, but they got absolutely bamboozled by those Yap Panzer E100. I think the main mistake for Raid, positioning on the A side is a bit problematic, to be honest with you. But I also think that they have an opportunity to even push actually over to A, but that potentially would spread their team out a little bit. So what Outsider's team did really well. I mean, Rico also did a fantastic job in that light tank, being a huge nuisance to the backside of Raid's team. And I have to say, Raid, they weren't able to conserve the hit points, and the hit points keep on dwindling while Outsider's team just keep on putting shots in, and that really didn't help them at all. The Yap Panzers did a really good job in really creating that fear factor, but it wasn't enough. Outsider's team was just better overall. That's it. We are going to be seeing Outsider's team into the lower bracket final, knocking out Raid. And who are we going to be facing next? We will find out in around 22 minutes. Let's go back to the lounge. Okay, so Serenity versus APA is still ongoing. That is going to take some time to complete. I think their matches may go to a tiebreaker, but commiserations to Raid. I mean, a common denominator of these matches here is that Raid started well, but they fell behind in the middle of the game. You can see Outsider's team, they have a really strong mid game in all of these games. That allowed them to mount a good comeback. And I really like that how they don't give up when they have an initial disadvantage, and they really kept their concentration well at a really high standard, and that is how they make comebacks after comebacks, and I hope Raid will concentrate on their mid game phases. They had some really good initial strats. That's something to be proud of. But it all depends on the mid game stages. This is the area that they are weak at the moment for me, in my opinion. They were in positions that allowed them to get shut down by the opponents, and you can see that how Outsider's team just shared the hit points a lot better than Raid. And also they were also rotating those low hit point pool targets backwards, made them, and I mean, you can see Outsider's team, their basics are really done well. And a couple of times it's only that those matches that Outsider's team lost is just their initial strategy being a lot worse than their opponents. So you could see that Outsider's team, their main weakness would be trying to recover from a big hit point pool disadvantage, and also an unconventional strat. Oh, we also got results. Serenity lost to APA 2-3, so APA is actually the first team to qualify. So congratulations to APA, they are through. And so congratulations here. And there we go. And Serenity will face Pink. That is going to decide who will qualify to the upper bracket first round. Okay, so let's go back here. So with APA through, so chances are APA will face Jokes, because Jokes is on Group 2, but it's possible that APA will be facing Veil, because they finished 4th. And if Serenity goes through, then APA will face Veil. All right. So that will be Serenity versus Outsider's team. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Right, so wait. Have I missed anything? Okay, so if we look at the schedule, it will be this. So, lower bracket final, the maps are Canal. Rockfield and Normandy, we saw Canal yesterday, so it will be played again, so it will be some really interesting stuff. And with Rockfield being played tonight already, we saw with Pink versus APA, I mean, Outsiders team will probably be familiar with that, but also at the same time, Serenity could go back and see what happened to Outsiders team of Rockfield against APA, and whether they will find a way to counter that, and maybe they would copy the same thing as Outsiders team has done, well, as AP has done, because Outsiders team lost that match on Rockfield. Then finally we have Normandy. Right. So I have to go to the loo and have a break for now, just to deal with my itchy nose. At the moment, we'll be back soon. Okay, I am back. Hopefully that's going to help a bit, so bit itchy, but I think I've got that a bit better under control. So next up we have Serenity versus Outsiders team, and the maps are Canal, Rockfield, and Normandy. So what are we going to be expecting this one? It's going to be quite tactical again. Canal, it's one of the most tactical maps in the game and in Clan Wars, so we will see some unusual setups, and it will be an amazing fight, and I know that a lot of teams would love to play on Canal. And then we have Normandy, Rockfield, as we saw in the first round as a tiebreaker. Will Outsiders team do something different this time? Finally, Normandy. It's a map that's been played a couple of times, I think. Was it not? I don't exactly remember. But Normandy, it's kind of in a similar position as Canal, where it's quite open. It's quite open, and I mean Rockfield is relatively open too. But the fights are in somewhat compact areas, so that's a little bit different. But Normandy and Canal are somewhat similar maps. I would say Normandy is a bit more open than Canal, and Canal it's somewhat open, but there's a couple of areas where it all boils down to close encounters. So we'll find out. And with only 7 minutes remaining to go, I'm just going to the room first. And has the room been set up yet? And I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so far. I just have to wait until the room is up, really. Unless Eric's is there. But no. Alright, so it will be Serenity versus Outsiders. Whereby there we go. The room is up, and I need the password. I need the password. Where are you? There we go. I'm going to enter it again. I hope you like the stream quality so far. I think the last piece of upgrade for my stream will be the mic. I know my mic is still working perfectly fine. Like, there is no problem with it, but just a little bit of a sound upgrade. So hopefully the mic quality is going to improve with a new mic, and yes, I will have it ready hopefully by the autumn season, and you will be hearing some nice commentary, hopefully. Yes, and yeah, it will be Serenity versus Outsiders team. Whoever wins this will qualify to the stage 3 upper bracket first round. So as it looks, APA will face Veil if Serenity qualifies. However, if Outsiders team qualifies, Outsiders team will face Veil and Jokes will face APA. Okay? So APA will be watching this one, and they will find out which opponent they will go for. It's still not decided yet, but one thing's for sure is that Serenity will face Jokes, and Outsiders team will face Veil. So this is for certain. So they know their opponents in the upper bracket first round. They just don't. APA just don't know which one they will go for first. Okay, so I'm here. Robert's here, and I believe, and I know it's going to go. It's going to be here soon. Alright. So, Serenity. They barely lost to APA 2-3. This is going to decide. Serenity, we know that they are a top 4 team on the EU server. I mean, they had a pretty decent year. They even won the Money Blast tournament in the winter season. That remains the only other team this year that wins the EU title. We know that BPS won the spring season and the summer season consecutively, and I have to say I watched those games in the summer season. BPS do look really strong, and I think a lot of teams here will be working to reach that level in the autumn season and try to find ways to stop BPS from getting the most prestigious title on the EU server. And Endgame is still defending that title. So far, still defending that title. They've won the EU title for 3 years straight already, and yeah, we will find out. This autumn season is going to be really interesting. Will Endgame defend that title, and will BPS nick that title this year? I mean, they are looking really strong to the run up. I mean, on the run up to this moment in time, and for some reason, and 9-0 hasn't shown up yet. I think he will be there in a moment. Oops. And I know has difficulties getting into the room. We are sorting that out. Yep. Nope, they're still they're still entering. We are having some issues. Oh, there we go. And I know it's now in. Okay, we are now okay with the setup. There was a little bit of an issue here. We reached the player limit, but we are now all good to go. We are just waiting for Serenity to get ready, but Outsiders team are now ready. They will be taking really interesting tanks, and you will see in a minute or so what tanks they're going to be taking. But one thing for sure, Serenity would not want to give up that lead they will have at the start of the match. Or maybe they won't have that advantage. We will have to see. We will have to wait and see. They are still preparing They're still readying up. Oh, they are now ready. Everyone is ready. Let's go in now. And they haven't. Okay, there we go. We are now in on the first match on Canal. Serenity, double 60TPs, double bad chats, triple type 71s, and as I promised you, Outsider's team is taking a really interesting lineup. Triple T100 LC, one FE405, a double 60TP and a type 71. So actually follow Pepel on the FE405. This is an interesting tank. Can he land a lot of nice shells at the start? This is what the FE405 is doing here. No, he's trying to move back because he's afraid he's getting spotted and getting shot at. Actually, Outsider's team gets C first, and those C100 LTs will go for D. Oh, Brain receives some hits trying to move back. And Gad, although in this position, but as you can see with these like tanks, if Serenity decides to push, those C100 LTs will make sure that Serenity will pay for this. And great shot onto Gad. Oh, Gad. Has to be careful here. He has support from behind, but he doesn't want to lose unnecessary hit points at this moment in time. They don't have the hit points, however. Serenity is on the upper hand with this aspect. But they have to make a push because they don't have the hit point pool advantage. As we can see, Alpha is in this position. Oh, gets shot at by Brain. That's really hurtful indeed. Will Brain land another shell onto Alpha? Again, is really losing those hit points at the wrong position here. Oh, he's losing even more hit points, and I think Brain, big shot into Alpha. Alpha now in heaps of trouble. He's going to move back here, but Gad is also losing unnecessary losing a lot of hit points there. Not a really great position for him in the end. But we are now going to be seeing 200 LTs coming from this area. It's going to be farming a lot of damage, and Tacos could be the type they could put a lot of damage on, because pretty much in a line of fire. Wow, Original, great blind fire into Flame. Flame will be wondering where that shot came from. Oh wow, great call there from Serenity here. That, I don't think they know that happened. Well, that will throw Outsider's team a little bit off, but will that throw them the win entirely? I don't think so. Serenity still don't have the hit point pool, the cap lead. They still have healthy amounts of hit points to spare. The silver in that bad chat. It's going to play really carefully, but great first shot into Gad. But Pepel's in position to shut down the silver. He decides, no, first shot into Flytex actually. Oh, Flame, oh my lord. Takes another big shot, and Serenity really is pulling ahead in terms of hit points. And I think potentially they will have a good opportunity to push now, because Gad is the apparent weak spot here. But bad shot. Oh, the silver receives a big hit there. Gad is going to go down. If Gad goes down, the cap points will go in favor of Serenity. So Serenity potentially doesn't have to push anyhow. But we are now approaching to 800 cap points. They're still banking on Gad to be killed, and Serenity isn't pushing because they think they could kill Gad, and he's getting killed. Then Serenity doesn't have to push at all. But they are now paying for this. Flame in this position. Oh, great shot to Vabon. The hit point pool advantage is now closing. And Flytex is really looking to get that kill. Yes, they got this kill. And now they have the cap advantage. Now they will have to defend. They have to stay back. And the hit points are now neck and neck. Pink, Outsider's team's pushing on the other side. And Serenity's pushing on to Paul, so that could be a really good kill. And they got it! They got that kill! Oh, important, the dying stages of this game, that kill sealed Serenity the deal. I think that was not a good position to take. Maybe it's a good position, but Serenity, look at how... I'm not sure if it's easy for Serenity, but look at them. Just just removing the hit points of Gad bit by bit, and at 800 cap points, Gad's down to only like a one shot, and Serenity getting that important kill. And I really like that how they follow up from that kill, because Outsider's team was apparently pushing from their right hand side and they looked for that T100 LTs, and really great job from Serenity to shut down those T100 LTs, rendered them useless at the latter stages of this match, and Serenity made sure Outsiders paid for this. And well done to Serenity. That was calm and collected. We love to see that. Well done. Great first win for Serenity. Oh, that is amazing to watch. Well done. And Outsiders team, they're going for double tanks, except the VK-19. And Serenity, this time going for quintuple Type 71s. A Sheridan and a T100 LT will go in very soon. And there we go. We are now in on the second match on Canal. Let's go. Serenity red team this time. Oh, they're going to D entirely, I think. Let's follow Tacos because he's going for a different route. Meanwhile, Outsiders team is going for B and D. So also let's follow Papel because I think he could spot all tanks over to crossing into D. Oh, shots! Oh, Taco! Oh, that was bloody. He is trapped. Papel is there. Oh, great shots. Great shots from the Serenity. Now Papel, ooh, now trying to run away. That means Tacos can make use of this opportunity to run away and get into safety. Serenity doesn't have the cap lead. They will try to get D, but are Pigs Tanks ready to deny Serenity of a cap lead on D? We'll find out now. Oh, Flame is crossing. Serenity, oh, on fire! Oh, although not the worst scenario possible, that fire got extinguished pretty quickly. Original, that was a reset shot from Flame. Didn't do any damage onto Original. They received some damage. Pink really is denying Serenity off a cap on D. The hit points are still in favor of Outsiders team though, mainly because they punish Tacos dearly. And now will Serenity try their hand again on D? That Tacos has to be really careful here. So we have to wait and see. Tacos, I sense that Outsiders team potentially could blind fire to these bushes here, but Tacos will get D alongside Original with impunity. And that's not going to be enough because Outsiders team got A as well. And let's look at the silver in that Sheridan. It's going to get a couple of spots here. Oh, that's a miss. That's a miss onto Scorpion. And that would not be enough to put Serenity back on the table. There is still a lot to do for Serenity. They are in trouble. Outsiders team's making it really, really difficult for Serenity to put shots in. But Alpha and also the Silver's definitely looking to break that. And the Silver's now going up here. Oh, spot up Scorpion. Pulls back just enough to prevent getting shot at. Now with the cap points, we have Outsiders team with 6 cap points per 2 seconds of increase. Serenity with only 3. So if you do the maths here, we're just only about a minute to go before Serenity absolutely has to make this push. And if Outsiders team is able to conserve hit points within this minute, then they will be okay. They will be A-okay. But now we have Brain and Gad. Oh, bounce onto Original. This is going to be the make or break move for Outsiders team. Is this going to be a good move? We'll find out. but this is going to create even more pressure for Serenity to do something now. Well, I'm not sure if it's going to be worth it. Spitfires is in deep trouble. And now Serenity is pushing onto Scorpion. They will have Rico join the ranks. And that's a good shot onto Scorpion. Oh, important kill from the Silver onto Pep-Pow. That is going to be crucial. And Silver is going to try and capture A. On the other hand, Serenity is going to make a push. They're trying to get Brain down. So whichever which way, Spitfire is now down. Serenity is going to make it really, really close. But in terms of cap points, Outsider's team has the advantage here. And Rico kills the Silver. And it looks really good for Outsider's team at the moment. But Gad is isolated. Can they get the tanks out as soon as possible? But Serenity bounces those shells. Oh, loads of bounces onto Gad. That's not going in their favor. Alpha is now running around with Rico. And Scorpion's going to do a 2 versus 1. They really need Gad out of the way as soon as possible. And A still going to be captured by Alpha. Alpha will get A. On the other hand, Gad is still alive. Gad is still up and going. Origin now needs to stay alive. Oh, it's a bounce from Gad onto Origin now. This is going really close. Flame can fluff the shell. They will get Alpha, and Origin now is now getting killed as well. Outsider's team. That is really intense indeed. And I mean, Serenity, they really tried their best, but those bounces onto Gad meant that Outsider's team is able to regroup just in time, and Serenity isn't. I mean, it was an uphill battle for them anyway. They just have to find a way to break through Outsider's team. Outsider's team by no means is defending nicely. They lost a couple of hit points while defending, and they made a really interesting push with those double Type 71s, which I think is not necessary, because they have the cap lead with 2 caps as well, compared to Serenity with 1. Simply, they could just stay back and defend, and they will win this one automatically. But they decide to address this issue even further, and that kind of inspires Serenity to make something out of it. But in the end, Serenity wasn't able to capitalize on that, and it's now 1-1. It's going out evenly, and we are now onto Rockfield. So let's say Serenity versus Pink. Serenity. We have pause restarting the game, so we will have to wait for a couple of minutes for that potentially. Now, will Serenity make a comeback here? They really need to forget what happened in the last match. It was really close in the end, but Outsider's team simply has that tremendous advantage with the caps and also the positioning as well. Serenity tried really hard. That's something we could all agree on. That's a unanimous statement there. But now we are focusing on Rockfield. 1-1. Pause again, going offline. The connection issues might force Outsider's team to make a substitution. Rico is still not ready yet. Potentially waiting for pause, or Outsider's team is briefing for the strategy on this match. In this match, I mean. And there we go, Serenity and Outsider's team. Non-typical Type 71s across the board. The only difference here is Outsider's team is going to take 1 FV215B, a Sheridan, and also and also an extra Type 71. Serenity, double 63Ps and a Sheridan being the difference here. And let's follow Tacos here, going to a more traditional way of getting the spots up. But I don't really like this way of spotting, because he spotted up some tanks. But can he get away? That's not a lot of tanks spotted though. I mean, Rico is that position, I like it more, but might be in trouble. Going out of their way just in time Serenity just go past A. And Outsiders team is going to regroup to be ready for a push coming from Serenity. And we are seeing some shots fired from Pepel onto Vabon. And shots onto Flame! That's not a good start for Outsiders by any means. The Silver getting shot at as well. We're seeing Tacos going to run away from C. He's going to be really important. Brain information for Serenity. Oh, Brain gets shot at. Outsiders team is getting caught in being a bit careless in their positions here. Their point's still neck and neck. It's still not determining the winning side yet. Serenity, they have the count lead. They got A more quickly than Outsiders team getting C, so they have to be careful. They don't want to lose too many hit points. Oh, we are seeing Serenity begin a push. This is going to be a huge risk. Outsiders team, they completely spotted that push, and they are now getting ready for this push. I think it will go really horribly wrong for Serenity if they insist on that. But maybe I'm wrong with that. I don't know. Alpha. We'll see. They stopped. They are waiting. The Silver's losing more hit points. The hit points still going neck and neck. Outsiders team, they are in position. Great shots from Serenity. Serenity now honing in these positions. Will Outsiders team make a counter rotation? And we are seeing Origin now. Big shot into Gad. Perhaps I was wrong about Serenity. This could be a good call. But Outsiders team is lining up for a push onto these three tanks here. And Serenity needs to get ready for this push now. Because it's now 3 versus 2. They are now calling for focus fire. POS will be the focus fire. Spitfires getting the wrong target, I think. Should be for POS, not for that FV215B. The hit points are now in favor of Serenity. Still, but Vabon gets a bounce of the guard. Spitfire is dead. Alpha is dead. The hit point is still in favor of Serenity, but Serenity doesn't have the gun advantage. And once again, what Outsiders team did really well is the hit point push sharing. And Vabon bounces that shell onto Gad. This is going to haunt them hard if they can't get the tanks out here. Vabon is dead, and Origin now can't fluff the shell onto Brain. He has to get this, and he will get this. Now the Silver is in deep trouble. He has to kill Gad here. But Fly takes on an ammo rack, and Gad will kill off Gad Silver. It is the case. It's now 3 versus 5. Rico is going to get Tacos out of the way. He will do that. And Origin now is still really healthy, but look at the hit point push sharing of Outsiders team. It has gone in favor of them again. And this is going to be the common denominator of all the games they're going to be playing tonight. The hit point push sharing is what wins them the games. Serenity, somewhat lack of focus fire hurts them and came back and haunted them hard. And a couple of bounces here and there meant that Serenity, despite the hit point pool lead, they were under a significant numerical disadvantage, and Outsiders team really made use of the numerical advantage they had, and some really amazing hit point pool sharing. Some of the best I've seen in this tournament. This is going to send them through if they continue to do that, and Serenity now on the match point here. 1-2, they're down at the moment, and Pink, if Outsiders team is going to win the next one, they are going through, and they will face Veil. Well done to Outsiders team, and we're going to be seeing the next one here. Serenity needs to stay focused. They can still do it. They have some good strategies. They just have to get the focus fire done right, and they just have to get the hit point pull sharing done right. They have some good crossfire moments here and there, but Outsiders team, their good individual skills and teamwork is going to be the the factor that is going to send them through, but will Serenity get the comeback here? We'll find out soon. And there we go. Potentially the last match of tonight. Serenity versus Outsiders team. Outsiders currently leading, currently on a tiebreak, currently on the match point, and only one more win will be enough to send them to the next stage, next phases of this tournament. As for Tacos in the Vickers Light, we don't see Vickers Light often lately, and that is due to pretty much the T1 LT and the buff of the Sheridan lately. The Vickers Light might be very important. We'll be going to this position first. Oh, Sheridan Rico spotted up as well. We see some information being lit up, but Outsiders team seems to be getting more information than Serenity at the moment. And look at this, triple type 71 waiting for Serenity to push. They're placing a bait strategy here. Oh, that was an important reset from Plytix onto A. And Serenity will be getting C with 2 tanks. And I think they can position themselves to reset B. B is out in the open. And Outsiders team could get B. But maybe they have another idea, we don't know. Outsiders team is the team that needs to make the rotation, and we're going to see Tacos going to this bush to relay the information for Serenity. That is going to be crucial. And we're going to be seeing rotation happening for Outsiders team. The triple type 71s could pull a surprise anytime soon. Serenity, they are staying back. They are sitting deep, and it's all Outsiders team that needs to do something. They only need 1 kill though, but we're going to be seeing some movement from these type 71s, these triple type 71s. They're going for C. They're going straight into C, and the Silver will spot them up. And we have seen some shots being fired. But look at Serenity, they are doing something completely different here. They are ready to reset C. Vabon is in heaps of trouble, I have to say. Look at his positioning, he is in deep trouble. Getting shot at by Poss. Flame misses a shell. Vabon bounces the shell. Serenity getting both A and B. That is going to be a risk though. They will sacrifice Vabon for this, and potentially Alpha as well. Serenity needs to make a push immediately, otherwise Vabon will not survive for another day. And he's the first tank out of the match. The hit one's still neck and neck here. Original, big shot into Brain. I hope them getting 2 caps will be enough, but is it going to be the case? It seems Outsiders team is being really quick in getting the tanks out here. And this is looking really bad for Serenity at the moment. Alpha is going to be going down very soon. Under Gad and Flytix. Serenity is really struggling now. The hit points pool sharing again. Outsiders team are doing an amazing job. I don't know if Serenity can pull this off. This is looking really bad. I don't know. The hit point pool sharing Outsiders team. Tacos and that Vegas Light. We can only rely on Tacos to get a tank out. Oh, that's good. I don't know. Gad is now dead. It's now 6 versus 5. The cap points are now in favor of Serenity, but not now. Rico's dead, Tacos dead, Flytix dead. The Silver is the last person standing. Can the Silver survive? I don't know. It's not going very well. The Silver can't survive for long. And he's dead. And Serenity are out of Blitz Premier Cup. Surprisingly, Outsiders team are through. Well done to Outsiders team, and interesting. Yeah, good idea to get both A and B, but I think them hesitant on getting a push on C is what cost them the game in the end. And I mean, they have tanks, they have Vabon, and also there is also a tank there trying to, I think, a tank there to reset C. Well, they were like the sacrificial lambs. They were like the pivot for Serenity push over to the other side, but I think that push didn't materialize, and Serenity holding back is what's cost them the game. It's Outsiders team again. The hip hop push sharing, is so equal that that is the deciding factor here. And again, the hip hop push sharing, the damage spread is very equal as well. 6 tanks doing more than 2k. That for me is pretty much is a deciding factor. Outsiders team, impressive stuff tonight, despite losing to APA 2-3. This is pretty much what's going to be the area that the teams tomorrow would focus on. Outsiders team, hip hop pool sharing. I mean, a lot of teams tomorrow will be looking to prevent Outsiders team from doing that. It's amazing to watch, and I mean, they also have some really insane teamwork displayed. Serenity, I think they will work on this. The focus fire, simply not as good as Outsider teams, and also their movement as well. Them finding a lot more difficulty than Outsiders team does in picking up isolated targets. They will need to work on that in the autumn season, and hopefully they will get there in the end. And also, they don't have the best sieging, so they have to work even harder than a lot of teams tonight. So Outsiders team, well done. They are going through, and they will be playing against Veil tomorrow, and Immortals against APA. No, Immortals against Outsiders. No, Jokes against APA, and Outsiders teams are against Veil. Congratulations to both Outsiders team and APA. They are through to stage 3 upper bracket final, upper bracket first round. Alright, so some of people are asking, where are the strongest teams such as Endgame, BPS, and Loka? Loka, a couple of the players from the summer season Loka has gone to APA now. And Endgame are in the tournament, so you will see them tomorrow. BPS, they didn't participate in this tournament, so consider them. Well, they will appear in the autumn season, and we will see some amazing stuff from them. As always, the summer season, they look really strong, so hopefully they will be strong. They will be strong in the autumn season as well. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed all the matches tonight, and I do personally. So for now, I am going to show you the matchups for tomorrow. It will be Jokes versus APA and Veil versus Outsiders team. Now let me show you. Jokes versus APA will be the first game. Veil versus Outsiders team also. Then there's upper bracket second round. We will have Immortals facing the winner of Jokes versus APA, and Endgame facing the winner of Veil versus Outsiders team. And then the upper bracket final, which will happen at a really late time, will be the winners of Immortals versus will be the winners of the upper bracket second rounds. So thank you for tuning in. A lot of people are now tuning into my stream. And yeah, I'm not sure, but I think the front runners. I think we will see some amazing stuff from Endgame tomorrow, and also I mean Endgame's bracket. So yeah, I'm looking forward for tomorrow. So I'll see you all for tomorrow, and hopefully, great games tomorrow ahead. And a really long stream, and I have to prepare for that. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you soon. Good night all, and congratulations to Serenity and Raid, and congratulations to APA and Outsiders team. See you all soon. Bye for now.